Y'all, let me tell you about this wild ass time in my life that still got me messed up to this day. So this happened when I was like 15, right? I had just moved in with my auntie because my daddy got locked up and my mama was going through some things with her new man. You know how that go. My auntie, she lived in this big house in the suburbs with her husband and they 3 kids. 2 girls and 1 boy. The oldest girl, Keisha, she was 17. The boy, Marcus, he was my age. And the youngest girl, Tanya, she was like 13. Now my auntie, she was cool as heck, but her husband, that dude was something else. So check this out. When I first got there, everything was cool. Like, I'm talking about I had my own room. They bought me new clothes, got me a phone, all that good stuff. But you know how stuff be too good to be true sometimes? Yeah, this was one of them times. I remember the first day I got there, my cousin Marcus was acting hella weird. Like, he kept following me around the house, showing me every little thing like I ain't know how to work a microwave or some stuff. At first, I thought he was just being nice, you feel me? But then this dude started telling everybody at school that I'm his girlfriend. Like, what the heck? We cousins, you weirdo. But that wasn't even the worst part. See, my auntie's husband, let's call him Uncle Tim, he worked nights at this factory. So during the day, while Andy was at work, he would be sleeping. But this man, I swear to God, every time I would come home from school, he would be in the kitchen, like clockwork, just sitting there, drinking his coffee, asking me about my day and crap. One day, I'm in the kitchen making me a sandwich, right? And Uncle Tim comes in wearing nothing but some basketball shorts. No shirt, no nothing. I'm like, okay, whatever, it's his house. But then this dude starts flexing his muscles and crap, asking me if I work out. I'm 15, dude. What the heck I look like working out for? So I started trying to avoid being home when Uncle Tim was there. I would stay after school for like no reason, just sitting in the library doing my homework or whatever. That's when I met this girl named Jasmine. She was in my English class, quiet as heck, but she was cool. One day, Jasmine tells me she got this brother who just got out of juvie. She said he was locked up for some stupid stuff, like fighting at school or whatever. His name was Deandra, and baby, when I tell you this boy was fine, he was fine. Like the type of fine that make you forget your own name. So me and Deandra, we start talking on the low. I couldn't tell nobody at home because, first of all, Uncle Tim would have tried to act all protective and stuff like he my daddy or something. And Marcus, that dude would have snitched so fast trying to start some drama. Everything was going good with Deandra for like 2 months. We would meet up at the park after school, sometimes go to the movies on the weekend. I would tell my auntie I was studying with Jasmine, and technically I wasn't lying because Jasmine would be there too. But then this one day, everything went left. Like, I'm talking about some movie type stuff. So boom, I'm at home, right? It's a Saturday, and everybody gone except for Marcus and me. Keisha at work, Tanya at her little dance practice, Andy and Uncle Tim went to some wedding or whatever. I'm in my room, just chilling, texting Deandra when Marcus busts in my room like he paying bills or something. He talking about who you always texting. Let me see your phone. I'm like, boy, if you don't get the heck out my room. But this dude wasn't listening. He tried to grab my phone, so I pushed him. He fell back into my dresser and knocked over this expensive perfume my mama got me for Christmas. The bottle broke and that crap went everywhere. The whole room started smelling like a Bath and Body Works threw up. Marcus got mad as heck and ran out the room. I thought that was the end of it, but nah. This weirdo went through my backpack while I was cleaning up the perfume, found my diary, and started reading that crap out loud in the hallway. Now, let me tell you something about my diary. I had wrote everything in there. Everything. About Uncle Tim being weird, about Deandra, about how I caught Marcus stealing money from Andy's purse one time. All of it. When I heard him reading that thing, I lost it. I ran out there and snatched that book so fast, but Marcus had already took pictures of some of the pages with his phone. This little dude tried to blackmail me, said if I didn't give him my new Jordans that Andy just bought me, he was gonna show everybody what I wrote. I was like, go ahead, show them. Matter of fact, let's call your mama right now. But that dude knew I wasn't playing. See, what he didn't know was that I had dirt on him too. I had videos of him stealing from the corner store, pictures of him smoking in the backyard, all types of crap. But while we arguing in the hallway, guess who pull up? Deandra. This fool decided to surprise me because Jasmine told him nobody was home. He threw rocks at my window like we in some type of romance movie or some crap. Marcus saw him first and started wilding out. I'm calling the police. I'm calling my dad, acting like he ain't just tried to blackmail me 5 minutes ago. Deandra, who ain't know that Marcus was my cousin, thought he was some random dude trying to mess with me. So he climbed through my window. Yeah, we was on the first floor ready to beat Marcus' ass. I had to get between them like, stop, stop. He my cousin. But Deandra was already heated. He was like, why this little dude trying to blackmail you then? And that's when everything really popped off. Marcus tried to run downstairs to call somebody, but he tripped over his own feet and fell down like 3 stairs. He wasn't hurt for real, but he started acting like he was dying or some crap. Meanwhile, Deandra's still in my room looking confused as heck, and I'm trying to explain everything. But before I could even get to words out, we hear another car pull up. My heart dropped because I recognized the sound of Uncle Tim's broken muffler. That thing sounded like a dragon with asthma. Deandra tried to go back out the window, but his pants got caught on something and he fell into my auntie's rose bush. The same rose bush she won first place for at the garden club last summer. Them roses was her baby. Now they was crushed under 160 pounds of teenage boy. Uncle Tim and my auntie came running in because they heard Marcus crying, still acting. By the way, when they saw Deandra trying to untangle himself from the rose bush, Uncle Tim tried to act tough. Who the hell are you? He yelling like he's somebody important. My auntie, though, she was more concerned about them darn roses than anything else. She out there fussing over her plants while this whole situation unfolding. That's when Keisha pulled up from work. She took one look at everything: Marcus on the stairs, Deandra in the roses, Uncle Tim trying to act hard, Annie crying over her flowers, and bust out laughing. Like, this girl was crying laughing. But then she did something that changed everything. She looked at Uncle Tim and said, before you try to act all protective over my cousin, maybe you should explain why you be in the kitchen every day when she come home from school, walking around half naked. The whole place got quiet. Even Marcus stopped his fake crying. Uncle Tim's face turned red as heck, and my auntie, baby, the look she gave him, I thought she was gonna turn into the Incredible Hulk right there. That's when all the real tea started coming out. Keisha had been watching Uncle Tim for weeks because she noticed how he was acting weird around me. She had been keeping a diary too, writing down every time he did some suspicious crap. Then Marcus, trying to save his own butt, started telling about how Uncle Tim would ask him questions about what time I shower, what time I go to bed, all types of creepy stuff. This whole time, everybody been seeing this crap, but nobody said nothing. My auntie was standing there, looking like she was about to explode. Her face was doing this twitching thing, and she had them roses squeezed so tight in her hand that the thorns was cutting her palm, but she ain't even seemed to notice. Deandra, who finally got himself out of the rose bush, was standing there looking lost as heck. Poor dude came to surprise his girl and ended up in the middle of a whole family crisis. He had scratches all over his arms from them roses, his white t-shirt was all dirty, and he had leaves in his hair. Uncle Tim tried to play it off like everybody was making crap up, but Keisha wasn't having it. She pulled out her phone and showed everybody the notes she'd been taking. She had dates, times, everything. This girl should have been a detective or some stuff. The next hour was straight chaos. My auntie was cussing everybody out: Uncle Tim for being a creep, Marcus for trying to blackmail me for having a boy climb through my window, Keisha for not telling her about Uncle Tim sooner. The only person who ain't get cussed out was Tanya, and that's only because she was still at dance practice. In the middle of all this, DeAndre's sister Jasmine pulled up because he wasn't answering his phone. So now we got another person involved in this mess. She took one look at her brother, covered in dirt and rose thorns, and just shook her head like she used to this type of stuff. Uncle Tim tried to leave, talking about he needed to clear his head, but my auntie blocked the door. She was like, "The only place you clearing your head at is out of my house. Pack your junk." While Uncle Tim was upstairs packing, Marcus came and apologized to me. He was crying for real this time, talking about how he'd been feeling weird about Uncle Tim too, but didn't know what to do about it. He said he only been acting out because he was scared and confused. Keisha was in the kitchen making tea like we was having some type of proper British moment. But really, she was just trying to keep my auntie calm because that woman was ready to set the whole house on fire with Uncle Tim in it. And me, I was sitting on the couch between Deandra and Jasmine, still trying to process everything that just happened. Deandra was holding my hand, looking all concerned, while Jasmine was picking leaves out of his hair and roasting him about his failed Romeo and Juliet moment. My auntie came and sat next to me, looking tired as heck. She apologized for not seeing what was happening sooner. Then she looked at Deandra and was like, "So, you the boy my niece been studying with?" Poor boy ain't know what to say. But instead of being mad, my auntie just laughed. She said at least I had good taste, then told Deandra if he ever climbed through another window in her house, she gonna make him replant her whole garden by himself. While we was all sitting there, we heard Uncle Tim coming down the stairs with his bags. The whole room got quiet again. He tried to say something, but my auntie shut that down real quick. The only thing you need to say is goodbye, and make it quick before I call the police. As soon as that door closed behind him, it felt like everybody could breathe again. Marcus went upstairs to his room, probably to delete them pictures he took of my diary. Keisha started making calls to change the locks. My auntie was in the kitchen, probably calling everybody in the family to tell them what happened. Jasmine and Deandra had to leave because their mama was blowing up their phones. But before they left, Deandra kissed me right there in front of everybody. My auntie acted like she ain't see it, but I caught her smiling. That night, we all slept in the living room together, even though nobody said we had to. We ordered pizza, watched movies, and tried to act like everything was normal. But we all knew things was about to be different. The next day, my mama called talking about she got her stuff together and wanted me to come back home. But for the first time since all this started, I didn't want to leave. Yeah, stuff was crazy, but this was my family. Plus, I had Deandra now, and Jasmine had become like my best friend. My auntie got on the phone and told my mama everything that happened. They talked for like 2 hours, crying and stuff. By the end of it, they decided I should stay, at least until the end of the school year.